Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about PlayStation 4 emulation on PC with, yes you guessed it, shadPS4. Now we've talked about shadPS4 in the past booting Bloodborne, and then talked about people playing Bloodborne, and then talked about people beating Bloodborne bosses, and then talked about people creating mods for Bloodborne. And well, there's a brand new mod here you might be interested in. It's called Bloodborne FPS Boost and other fixes, and it's already on Nexus Mods. Now this mod is probably not something you'd want to use when PS4 emulation advances, but for right now in very early stages it may be helpful. So it says manually removes grass, ground clutter, fake distant meshes, disables shadow casting for all objects, enemies, and map pieces in order to boost FPS when emulating on PC. But could also benefit PS4 and PS4 Pro users. Now at this point in time, this mod does not apply to the entire game, just specific areas. And the developer says there is going to be more to come. If you are curious about this one, like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below. Next up here, if you're a fan of the ZX Spectrum, you might be excited about this news, or possibly not. I guess we'll see in terms of quality for this thing. But there's a brand new thing up for pre-order here called the Spectrum, and the price is 100 euros. Now taking a look at the description, and well, this one is pretty interesting, you'll see right here. Discover the Spectrum, a beautifully designed masterpiece that belongs in an art gallery, adorned with its signature rainbow colors. Okay then. Under features here, it includes the Spectrum home computer, powered by USB-C, emulates 48 and 128 models of the ZX Spectrum, fully working replica keyboard, and 48 games built in, including Manic Miner, The Hobbit, and Head Over Heels. Now, fortunately, you're not just limited to the included games. You can bring your own games via USB drive, and they should work, provided they're for the Spectrum. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about something that's causing a bit of a stir online, and that's this video right here from Did You Know Gaming. And here's the title: Crash Bandicoot 5, the cancelled Spyro crossover and the fall of Crash Team Rumble. Now this video has a ton of information in it regarding Toys for Bob, Activision, the games they were working on, and even more, and this video is over an hour long. Listen to this quote: "The idea that the team had been built at Toys for Bob would be an appropriate team to work on Call of Duty was just completely off. At that moment, it was clear that Activision just did not care about who we were, what we did, whether or not we were a good fit for it. They didn't really care who we were as a studio or as a team." There was a lot of investigation done for this video, and I do recommend checking it out. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. But at a high level here, it seemed that Activision pulled funding away from single-player games like Crash Bandicoot 5 in favor of live service titles. So Crash Bandicoot 5 was cancelled because of it. Next up, we're talking about Telegram, and this is not good news if you're a fan of Telegram or if you use Telegram. It's being reported now that the Telegram messaging app CEO has been arrested in France. The article says the CEO was arrested as part of a preliminary police investigation into allegedly allowing a wide range of crimes due to a lack of moderators on Telegram and a lack of cooperation with police. Telegram says here it's committed to protecting user privacy and human rights such as freedom of speech and assembly. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward for Telegram, but this is pretty big. And on a side note here, I just want to point out that I don't use Telegram. I'm not on Telegram. And I want to point that out because sometimes in the comments, even though we try to get rid of them, bots sometimes pop up posing as me saying to join some sort of Telegram channel. So be mindful out there, I am not on Telegram. Next up here, if you're on Xbox, you may want to pay attention to some of the sales that are currently happening thanks to Gamescom 2024. There's a pretty big sale with some titles reduced 90%. Pure Xbox has done an awesome job putting everything together, although if you do click on the links, it brings you to another Pure Xbox page, which is a little bit frustrating. Anyways, here I'll drop a link to this in the description below, and you may find some games on for a pretty steep discount you may be interested in. I mean, there's a ton at 90% off, there's a handful at 85% off, and a handful at 80% off. And some of these games are pretty big. And speaking about not pretty big, next up we're talking about Concord, which seems to have flopped pretty hard. So this game just released on August 23rd. It's got a mostly positive review score on Steam. However, the player count is extremely small. I mean, taking a look at the Steam charts, and right now 264 people are currently playing this game. Over a 24-hour peak, they had a maximum of 473 playing the game at the same time. And since release, the highest player count at one time they've seen is 697. Those numbers are tiny when you compare them to some of the AAA games that are out right now, like Black Myth Wukong with currently 1.8 million people playing the game, Counter-Strike 2 with 1.2 million people playing the game, Dota has 677,000, Rust has over 100,000 people playing it. Right now with their player count, Concord is sitting among games like Tunnel Escape, Galaxy Burger, Wild West Dynasty, and even more. This is not a really good release for this game. And taking a look over on OpenCritic, and reviews have not been overly favorable. I mean, right now it's got a weak OpenCritic rating with a 65% top critic average and 11% critics recommend. Now, I haven't played Concord yet, but if you have, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Do you think it deserves the harsh review scores here? Do you think it deserves such a low player base? But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. She is upstairs in a deep sleep and I'm not going to bother her. We talked about a few things today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.